So what do you want to be, what do you want to do, and what do you want to be when you grow up are questions that you get asked a lot when you're a high school student going into your senior year. And the severity of the question becomes more and more as you get closer to your graduation date. So this project allows me to experience a career without actually committing to it for 4 years or for a major. So hi, my name is Rebecca Lynn-Yaffe. I'm from Egg Harbor Township High School in New Jersey, and I did teach and train senior. So the first thing I did was work through the process planning sheet to implement this project. I decided to do the hard copy portfolio because it's more reliable than the electronic one. I also decided that my mentor would be Mr. Marcus, who is a joint teacher between my high school and the Richard Stockton College of New Jersey, so he would give me accessibility when I needed it, and he had the post-secondary education that I wanted to do. So I decided on this project in September, so then I set goals for every month that I wanted to accomplish to keep me on track and make sure I had it completed by the time of states. The first thing you do is a career exploration, and the requirements for post-secondary education is a PhD or a master's accompanied along with an interesting research project that helps you actually get a job, because colleges want to be cutting edge and the first one to discover things and know that they published it first. My ideal job would be having a class teaching the Holocaust class while simultaneously doing a research project on preserving the first-hand accounts of the Jewish victims of the Nazis. The skills that are needed for this job are public speaking, confidence, organization, and the job outlook is to increase 15 to 17% as the enrollment in post-secondary education increases throughout the coming years. For mentoring, my mentor was my mom. She encourages me to do what I want to do and to always dream big and to feel and do what you need to do. And then for an entry-level position, you can become a TA while you're actually still in college, finishing up your master's or finishing your PhD, and then you can move to the professor level, and then you can become a dean after many years. The second thing you do is a self-assessment, and you ask why you want to do this. You want to do this because I love education. I've been in school for the past 17 years, and it's something that's always been a part of my life, and I always knew I wanted to do it. And then for personal skills, I feel like I'm very good at public speaking, I'm organized, and I think like I'm very sympathetic, and you need to be caring, and you need to have sympathy to be a teacher. You need to care about your students and care if they learn. And then for family and consumer science, I was enrolled in Education Training 1 and Education Training 2, which are two family and consumer science classes offered at my class. And the teacher is actually my family career consumer science. She's my FCCLA advisor, Ms. Wagner. And for post-secondary education, I taught a lesson, and for this class, it's actually a 2-hour class, so you do 1 hour, and then you take a 10-minute break, and then you do 50 minutes again. So for the first hour, I lectured, and for my intro, I talked about how the gypsies were always avoided, they were nomadic, they took jobs that were nomadic, and everyone had to help out. And then for the actual bulk of the lesson, I talk about how in 1936, the laws started coming out that were discriminating against gypsies, and how they basically had the same treatment as the Jews. And it was really interesting because 2 weeks prior, we had talked about the universality of victims, so I was able to bring it into what the actual professor had been talking about and show them that this is part of their syllabus and this is stuff they need to know. And then for the conclusion, I did the outcome, which was 500,000 and 600,000 gypsies had been killed during the Holocaust. And we kind of put them aside and always think that it's the Jews, but it was a lot of different people, a lot of different backgrounds. And then for the second part of the class, which was the next hour, I showed an hour documentary on first-hand accounts of gypsies that had been through the Holocaust and what they felt and what they experienced. And here are two pictures of me teaching. And then after I was done, I sent thank you letters to Mr. Marcus and the class for letting me use their time and their experience in helping me with this project. Shadowing and reflection. So I shadowed twice in the fall semester for the Holocaust class, and then I shadowed twice in the spring semester for the non-Jewish victims of the Nazis, which is the class I actually taught. And Mr. Marcus is amazing. He's an amazing public speaker. He draws you in with his stories. He allows you to live his life and think about things that he's been through, because he is from Jewish descent and he had family in the Holocaust. So it allows you to kind of build from your knowledge and his knowledge and keep you interested and keep you on task and help you remember things. And he's amazing. He's honestly one of the best public speakers I've ever seen. And then for my questions and answers with him, he just said that teaching is a career. Is a calling, not a career. It has to be a lifestyle. You have to love it. It can't just be treated as a job. It has to be what you want to do. She said never to be discouraged, to always keep going, and that it's exhausting, exciting, and challenging, but above all rewarding. So it really helps you into wanting to do this and to be proactive and to do what you need to do and to always keep pushing further. And then for technology, I use the internet and search engines to come up with the statistics. And then I also use the Microsoft to put this up, and then I did also the documentary. And for resources, I cited personal interviews, the documentary, and the search engines I used. And so now when people ask me, what do I want to be? I know I want to be a post-secondary education teacher.